That's cool game. Oh, okay, apparently I can't walk over that. Alright, am I supposed to just shoot him right away then? Wait. Is that seriously it? That's probably game over. Mission failed. Failed mission. Oh, I see. Okay. It said reach the terminal or whatever, and I was like, wait, am I supposed to like grapple up there and get on the computer? Assuming it still works and all that jazz. But no, I see that I'm supposed to just run to the middle there.
What happened?
They fell for each other.
And, what about us? Oh, James. What was that for?
Call it a hint of bigger things to come.
Bond will return, but sadly not with Brosnan again. William Dafoe. It is pretty cool. Like I said, the only thing missing here was Miss Moneypenny. That's like the only kind of like odd one out, you know? Alright, so besides the ending there, where clearly I was getting frustrated with some decisions, mainly around those invisible guys. Also, doing that last level on even the agent difficulty or whatever, that would have been tough. But trying to reset my mind here and ignore all the frustration I dealt with near the end there. You know, the fact that I'm just a little hungry, worn out, and whatnot. I do think this is legitimately a good game. Designed well, I think it has merits. And I think it is a game, like, how do I put this? I do think it's, I understand why people are fond of it, and I feel like if I played it as a kid too, I would have been very fond of it. It's very special to Brosnan fans in particular, because it's kind of the fifth film that he never got to do, right? I wish it was maybe a bit more, like more cutscenes. Maybe if they had, even if they wanted to put like live action cutscenes in there, just at the M building or at like HQ, safe house, whatever you want to call it. That would have been really cool, because then we would have got to see Brosnan even like after Die Another Day. But yeah, it's kind of the closest Brosnan got to that fifth film, unfortunately. And I do think it's a, like I said, it's a pretty good game. Mechanically, I think it's pretty solid, because this is before, I think before third person shooters were like a well-known genre, like a solid Jonathan Sachs, because it was before third person shooters were like a defined genre, I would say. Like, you gotta remember, this is even before Resident Evil 5 or 4. I mean, it's before Gears of War 1. So like third person shooter wasn't like a defined genre yet, right? It was still in very like kind of early days. It was still the controls and that kind of stuff, it was still being worked out. And obviously, sixth generation game, I find that, a lot of games in this generation, generally not all the mechanics are entirely fleshed out or work well. But it was a game made by competent developers who I think are passionate about Bond, but are even more passionate about just making good video games, So I have respect for the developers of this game, because it does feel like they were legitimately trying to make a good game, and I think there are, with the Bond moments, I think that's what they're called, or like when you do something and it has the 007 pop up to kind of make it feel like you did something that Bond would do or whatever, right? All the little touches like that, little things like that, it's really cool. I like it. And just like there's some, like, in the levels, there is some exploration to be done with finding little secrets, which can be like ammo piles, a sniper, health, armor, whatever. There was passion and thought, effort put into this game, and that's what I like. And I've said this like a lot, kind of with because like we all know, like movie license games generally have a very bad reputation nowadays. But I say that if you go back to the sixth generation, where I feel like we weren't quite at that point where publishers were like super as money hungry, and they weren't like, yeah, they would want a movie tie-in game or something, but it doesn't feel like they rushed the developers every time, I feel like you had a lot more of these movie tie-in games that actually got time to be made, right? Aston Martin logo. Oh, that's nice of them. Rest in peace, Lionel Valet. Sorry if I butchered the name. It looks like that was a VOLLI or something.
I've always felt with these kind of games that the more real they are, the better they are.
I'll let this play out.
And the reality of these games is very, very close to the reality of the Bond movies. I remember going to the Bond movies myself when I was in my very early 20s, and coming out, walking slightly differently, kind of beginning to act it out. It's a great temptation, I think, at least for all young males.
He's a stud. He's hot. My mom knows who he is. I remember watching as a child, James Bond, James Bond, James Bond.
I've met young kids out there, and I don't think they've even seen the Bond movies. They've heard of the Bond movies, but they connect straight to the game because that's where their head is at. They're in the game world. And they play all the games that are out there, and the Bond ones have always been the most successful.
For me, gaming is very high stress. I'm very competitive. for me, it amps me up. I'm like, no, I'm gonna make this work, and I'm gonna win, and I'm gonna get there, and it's a big deal for me. I play Serena St. Germain. I'm an American geologist working in South America, and I help James Bond defeat the villains. It's amazing for me to be involved in such a great project with so many amazing actors, Judi Dench and William Dafoe and Pierce Brosnan.
Beautiful, aren't they? First, we take over Russia, then we unleash our little nanobots on the world.
I play Katyana Donova, and I'm an ex-KGB agent, and I'm a real bad girl. Well, we started the day by scanning my face with this high-tech machine. It's a cyber scan machine where you see completely everything from all different angles, so they get exactly the way I look. I can't wait to play myself. To play myself. I wonder how that's gonna be.
I just have to say I had a ball recording the song for Everything and Nothing. I did something musically that I've never done before. Number one, video game. I'm actually involved in animation as well, so I have all these things going through my head when I'm in the booth.
But the great thing about this game is that the kids get the chance actually to be Bond, and so they have the relationship with me in the game that Bond has with me in the movies. I provided you with a device called a steering wheel, 007. Perhaps you should try to find it.
Ah, the old Q lab. It's just like coming home. You've got the cast. What they've done here is they've created the whole ensemble of a Bond movie within the world of video games. I've seen other people crack at it, but this time they've got my likeness and they've got my voice. Bond. James Bond.
It's lovely that Bond is really so loved, and that it's out there on a regular basis. And, you know, we're missing making a movie this year, so the game is there.
God, I've watched that before, and it makes me sad, you know? It's just... Oh, I didn't know they had a combat simulator survival test. I don't know if these are going to be something I do or try out. Maybe we can see what they're like quickly while I talk about the game. Oh. This is a cool little extra that I didn't know the game had. Get some more bang for your buck. Okay. So again, to feel enemies next round. We'll take a quick look at the survival mode. But it's bittersweet, right? Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, how nice of you to spawn behind me. Yeah, I figured there was some guy behind me. That gets a little chaotic, I imagine. Especially if you can't quite find a corner tied in. If they can kind of just spawn everywhere, I can see that getting very hectic.